Hi everyone, welcome to this live show called Ask Me Any Singapore Stocks. I think some of you have already joined us live, right? If you can see, you can hear us. I think we can see some of your comments coming in. Hi Raj, good to see you. Good morning. I think some of you are even typing the stocks in the chat as well. Top Glove. Jason, hi, good to see you here as well. Just type a one, guys. Type a one in the chat if you are ready to get started, all right, in this live show called Ask Me Any Singapore Stocks. Hi, Ellen. Good morning. Good to see you here as well. Let's see who we have here. We have Dave. Good morning. Good to see you here again. All right. Jason. Hi, Lawrence as well. Hi, Andrew. Good morning. What is your view on phrases as well? All right. Okay. Very good. So, welcome to this live show. Good morning, George Tan. Hi. Good morning, JJ, Ray, Victor, Steph. Hi. Good morning as well. Okay. So, not to worry, guys. Let me do a quick recap of exactly what we're going to cover today. All right. So if you guys have been following me, basically, we try to do Ask Me Any Stocks live show once a week. So in the previous live show that we did last Friday, right, that was on the US market, right, on the US market. And today we'll be looking at the Singapore market, right, on the Singapore market, right. So I have with me my trainers and my mentors right over here as well, Bervyn and Z. Bervyn and Z, maybe just say hi before I introduce you guys.
Hi everybody, good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys. All right, so essentially, Bervyn and Z with me as well, and I'll just do a quick short introduction of them in a bit. But essentially, this whole entire live session, right, if you have been following us, is pretty much about you guys, not about us. All right, we will be covering the stocks, as the name of the show goes, right? Ask Me Any Singapore Stock. So yeah, we'll be covering the Singapore stocks that you guys are asking about. All right, in the chat later, right? Just type it in the chat one by one. We'll do our very best. We'll go through the stocks as quickly as possible. We'll show you what it says on our One Good Trend Pro indicator. Some of you even might have access to it as well. If you're an existing subscriber or you're a graduate of mine, you've gone through my courses and stuff, go ahead to play around with it as well. All right. But if you have not yet done so, you want to find a little bit more, attend one of those free webinars. I'll send the guys the link in a bit. All right. To find a bit more of the strategy and stuff. So I don't have time to cover the whole strategy and the framework. All right. If you want to find more about that, attend a free webinar. All right. But today we will just dive right into your stocks, right? Whether is it Top Glove? I think some of you are typing like Top Glove or DBS and stuff, right? So we'll dive right into it. Maybe 1 minute, one stock. All right, or max 2 minutes, one stock. And at the end of the live show, right, today, very quickly, we will also share with you a top stock that we like as well. Not just I like, but what Bervyn likes as well. Bervyn has his own opinion, even Z as well. All right, he has her own opinion on certain stocks as well. Each of us will share with you one stock. That sounds good, all right? So make sure you stay all the way to the end as well. That's where we'll share each one. So there's a 3 top stocks that perhaps you might want to put in your watch list, and that's after going through your stocks, right? So yeah, we'll do a quick market outlook as well. All right, so that's pretty much what happened. And let me just go ahead to introduce my team, right? So we have like Bervyn over here as well, and Bervyn's been with me for close to 4 years now, being a broker, remiser under me as well. All right, in Philips Securities, advising clients on stocks. His specialties in stocks as well, and he's actually a chartered financial CFA chartered holder. For those of you who are in the financial industry, this is a big name. I think you guys will know, right? CFA, you're pretty much, it's one of the most qualified, highest qualification you can ever get in the financial industry. All right, so he's an expert in not just technical analysis, but also fundamental analysis. All right, and he has been my mentor as well, conducting my group coaching, conducting my one-on-one trainings with our inner circle mentees as well, and also assisting our portfolio manager as well in terms of building what we call a winning portfolio as well. All right, so this is Bervyn. Bervyn, maybe just say a few words. Go ahead to introduce yourself. Go ahead.
Hi everyone. Good morning. So I think I saw some of you here last week as well. So some of you on our group coaching sessions as well as on Joey's past AMAs as well. Really happy to be here with you guys. I mean, I hope I can add some value or give you some stocks or some insight on some stocks that I think some of you are asking on. So I see some of you are asking on Yang Zijiang orders. No worry, I think later we will cover some of these stocks that you guys have. But most importantly, I hope you guys stay all the way to the end to find out what are our favorite stocks. What is my favorite stock? What is Joey's favorite stock? And what is Z's favorite stocks? All right, so let's move on to the, I think Joey wants to...
Okay, so very good. Thanks, Bervyn. All right, so yeah, Bervyn has been with me for a while. So later Bervyn will share a stock as well, and not just the bonus stock. In fact, some of the stock that you guys are asking about. I think Catherine, you're talking about Centurion, wow, okay, interesting. All right, let's see. Yang Zhejiang, Weher, Andy. Well, some of you are typing the stocks. So just give us some time to go through later. We have some time to go through the stocks. And as I say, Bervyn and Z will also help me. Let me take a break, right? So Bervyn and Z will also help me to cover your stocks. Of course, based on my one good trend strategy, which both of them are super, they know it really, really well. They're expert in my one good trend strategy. They know exactly how my indicator works as well. They're very well versed in it. So they will also go through this, right? So before I just let Z take on the mic, let me just introduce Z as well. All right, Z has been with me, same thing, for close to 4 years now. All right, and for those of you who are in the technical analysis space, right? Basically, Z is a chartered market technician, CMT holder, right? Chartered holder. So it's pretty much the highest qualification one can ever get if you are in technical analysis, right? So Z is an expert in technical analysis, anything to do with technical analysis. Of course, my one good trend strategy, which she's an expert as well. She has her own thoughts as well, all right? And of course, she'll share with you her own thoughts. And yeah, so Z is also helping me with our coaching programs, coaching our inner circle mentees, helping my group coaching, and of course, is assisting our portfolio manager as well in terms of crafting like a winning portfolio of stocks. So Z, maybe just say hi and introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi, my name is Z. Thanks, Joey, for the warm welcome. For me, I believe that, every investor's journey is unique and different, right? And the part that I really enjoy the most is helping you guys and others, understand the complexity of the stock market in a very simple and engaging way, lah. But on a more personal level, I'm the kind of person, if you want to know me a bit more, I'm someone who likes to talk to cats and dogs like they're my best friends. I like to read thrillers on the train, like to feel like I'm a spy. And also I like to play sports, right, to justify all the snacks that I eat. So if you enjoy a good laugh, good vibe, and you want to simplify your trading journey, we would love to see you back at more of our upcoming live session. All right, so enough about me. I'll pass the time back over to Joey to start today's live.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So by the way, guys, before we even begin today's live session, and for those of you who have just joined us for the past 5 minutes, right, you're just scrolling through YouTube. We are also live on Facebook, all right, and you're just scrolling through. You have no idea who we are. Welcome, all right, welcome to this live session called Ask Me Any Singapore Stocks. We're talking about Singapore stocks today. Last week, US. This week, Singapore. Next week, maybe back to US. All right, we don't know. All right, but any Singapore stocks, especially if you are trading the Singapore stock market, all right, that's what we'll pretty much cover. We'll share 3 top stocks at the end. One of us will share 1 each, all right, and that's pretty much what we'll be covering today. If you are just scrolling through YouTube and Facebook, all right, welcome. All right, hope you can stay here. Stay with us, and we look forward to engage with you as well. All right, and would it be okay, guys, if you do us a favor, and help us to just like and share? I'm not sure you can see this. Like, I was like and share. There's some little like heart-shaped button popping out right over here. How about like and share this video, guys, so that we can reach out to more people. All right, and if you have not yet already done so, right, go ahead to also hit the follow button and also the subscribe button so that when we go live in the future, right, you will be notified as well, right? So click the like and share button. All right, thank you so much. All right, thank you so much. So let's go ahead and get started right now. Let me go to share my screen. And just a quick disclaimer, right? Whatever that is being shared in today's live show, right, is just for education purpose only. So please do your own due diligence, right? The standard disclaimer that we share, all right, it's not to ask you to buy or sell, or not to buy or not to sell, all right? Essentially, it's just for education, maybe even entertainment purpose, all right? We hope you guys enjoy yourself as well as we go through your stocks as well, all right? Okay, so very good. Let me go ahead right now to talk about the markets, right? How many of you want me to go through like the STI market, since we're talking about Singapore stock? Just type S in the chat, guys, if you want me to go ahead to go through the Singapore STI, Straits Times Index. Okay, very good. Let's see, right? So any of you want me to go through the Singapore Straits Times Index, or should we just dive right into like the stocks? Let's see, right? So Dave, you want S as well? S, all right. Chi-Seng, S as well. Okay, maybe let's do very quickly. Let's just cover maybe like the Singapore's Straits Times Index very quickly, all right? So this is the Straits Times Index, the STI. So you can see that for the Singapore market, right, we have been pretty much in a longer term uptrend, I would say, since the beginning of 2024, just by looking at the 100 days moving average line right over here, all right, and also the 200 days moving average line. You can see, right, the red line is crossed above the blue. All right, so pretty strong uptrend. Of course, we did had a couple of a sell down in the short term just by looking at the green line. So when the green line starts to turn down, you can see, right, that is where the short-term trend is also turning down. You want to be careful, all right? But right now, quite clearly, you can see that the red and blue, the longer term trend is up, and the green line is still slightly pointing up. Yeah, we have seen a bit of weakness over the past 2 days, right? A bit of profit taking, because on Wednesday we saw a really strong run up in the market, right, due to the banks pushing to new highs. Over the past 2 days, a bit of weakness, but you see that the 20 days moving average line is still okay. It's not really pointing down, it's still slightly sloping up, right? So I think the trend looks pretty good in terms of the longer term and also the short term. So this is the STI. I think we have gone on to a very, very good move since like last year after breaking some of the key levels like the 3,500. You can see that is a very key resistance level that we have broken right over here. And off we went. And you can see when we broke this resistance, you can see the green line started to point up even more, flat, up more, all right, and we push even further, right? So I think STI looks pretty good. And if you can take a look at this bullish signal, so for those of you who have been following me, I have this indicator called the one good trend indicator, all right, whereby one good trend pro indicator, whereby it allows us to, let me just turn it off, let me turn it on again, all right, and you see right over here, pump off, pump on, in seconds, right? For any asset classes, not just STI, could be DBS, could be Apple, Tesla, crypto, Forex, whatever, gold, or whatever you want, right? Doesn't matter. We get an opinion in seconds, all right? Based on the bullish and bearish signals right over there, right? So let me show you what I mean. So you can see right over here, I've turned on the signals. You can see that for STI, we actually got a bullish signal in August, to be exact, 20th August, right? And that's where I started to see the rally all the way up. We got a bearish signal, a bit of a sell down, but over the past, few weeks, we got on the 7th of Jan, on Tuesday, we actually got a bullish signal. Next day, we started to push up because now we came back down again. But it still looks pretty good because this bullish signal is still in play, right? It's still in play. Maybe I can turn on what we call the trailing support that pops out. You can see, right? So as we had this bullish signal in August, you can see prices continue to push up. We have this trailing support that follows the market, all right, as it move even higher. And you can see we got a bearish signal. This is we went below the trailing support, all right, for about 2 weeks. And yes, we managed to get back above this trailing resistance and off we go, right? There is now a new, bullish signal. We are hopefully still above this trailing support. So I think it looks pretty okay. I think we can stay above like maybe the 3,008 or 3,780 level, all right? The STI still looks good, all right? Might just consolidate before attempting to push even higher. Because, on this Wednesday, we saw a pretty good move in the market. And in fact, we almost attempted to break the 3,900 as well, all right? So there's some weakness. I think US market was closed last night. But overall, I think we're looking at a pretty bullish year in 2025, right? So let me just go ahead to turn this off so it's not so messy. That is the STI. So let me just go ahead right now, guys, to go through, right, the stocks that you guys want covered, right? The stocks that you guys want covered. Let me just go ahead to see, right, what are some of the stocks. Okay, let's see, right? Let me go ahead to, so just type in the chat, guys, if it's okay. Okay, let me, yeah, so do me a favor, guys, type in the chat the Singapore stocks that you want a quick opinion on. Let me just go ahead to cover them right now. Bervyn and Z will help me with the stocks as well. So I think we have like more than almost close to 200 of you joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll go through this, type in the chat right now very quickly, all right? In case we miss any of the stocks, right? Do us a favor, just type in the chat again, and that's why we'll go through. All right. Okay, let's go. Let's see, right? So let's see what we have. Don't mind, would it be okay, guys, if you type in the name of the stocks, right? So if you type in the code, like I have no idea what is the code of every single stock. All right. So just type in the name if that's okay. All right. Let's see. Okay, Pongi 401 Nanofilm. Well, let's just check it out. Nanofilm, Nanofilm, right? Nanofilm. Let's take a look. Singapore stocks. So we are looking at the Singapore market today, right? Singapore market today. All right. So let's take a look at the Singapore market. Nanofilm, the first one. So just give us some time, guys. My apologies if I cannot cover all of them, but we'll do our best to cover as quickly as possible. So this is Nanofilm, right? Nanofilm. Let me just go through very quickly on Nanofilm. Let me go ahead to hack current command. Okay, wait up. Okay, so this is Nanofilm. All right, you can see that we had a couple of like bearish signals since like 2023 off, down we went. Let me scroll through and see where we are right now. So I would say that it's a little bit of a consolidation, right? I mean, we got some bottom being found somewhere in April last year. Bullish signals went up, bearish signals came back down, another bullish signal went up a bit. And the most recent one was a bearish signal in November, came down, down, down. And yeah, I mean, the past week we managed to get a bullish signal coming back. You can see, right? Bullish signal coming back. So yeah, maybe a bit of upside, but just take note, guys, we may see some profit taking. For those of you who is asking about this is Nanofilm, right? We may see a bit of profit taking, maybe near the 90 cents. You can see that was where we have seen selling over here. So I'm not too sure whether we might hit over here, but that's potentially where some selling can come back again, all right? Or maybe we see a bearish signal. So this Nanofilm, we normally do not want to trade stocks like this because you can see that it is not in a very clear uptrend, all right? Not in a very clear uptrend. It is pretty much sideways, but you know, having bullish and bearish signals as we consolidate sideways. So normally we want to go on with stocks that are in a very firm uptrend. There's a bullish signals. They are, you know, looking at a short-term trend that's up as well, all right? And of course, they're holding above the trailing support level as well. All that will show signs of strength for that particular stock, all right? So that's the first stock, Nanofilm. Let me move on to the next stock. We have, let's see, right? Okay, maybe we have Sembcorp, right? Sembcorp Industry. Sembcorp, I believe Sembcorp Industry, right? Let's take a look at it. Okay, let's take a look at Sembcorp Industry. So this is Sembcorp Industry. So you can see, as I mentioned, guys, this is the One Good Trend Pro indicator. I can go ahead to, okay, so let me just hide the comments, right? This is Sembcorp Industry. Okay, asked by Dave, right? Dave. Okay, so you can see right over here, we had a couple of bullish signals and bearish signals. So every time you get a bearish signal, look at this, guys. I mean, okay, pretty good, right? So you can see Sembcorp in 2022. Wow, a bullish signal right over here. Another one, it went up faster. Another one, it went up even faster. All right, and that's where we got the first bearish signal. That was like about, I mean, from this bullish signal, about 93%. All right, 93% increase. That was in 2022, all the way to like June 2023. All right, so that's Sembcorp Industry. Of course, we got some bearish signals. Another one went down even faster. We got bullish signals. It starts going back. So these are all live signals, right? Basically, when the market trades, it hits our criteria. It comes out live, and it can guide you to get out. I mean, especially if you see a bearish signal, all right? So you can see a bearish one came down, bearish pump, right? And went down, 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 down. Two bullish one in September last year. Another one in September went up. Another bearish signal went down a bit, and let's see, right? So the most recent one was a bullish signal in 3rd of December, all right? So I think okay, looks okay. I mean, we have this bullish signal still playing out, but let me go ahead to draw this resistance line right over here. I think that level is key, right? The 580 level, we are seeing a bit of resistance right over here. Can you see, guys? We have been like trading below this 570 to 580, all right? In fact, just like a few days back, we were there as well. That was where we sold out as well, all right? Look at this, right? The 580. So I think we got a bullish signal. It's still looking okay. Let me turn on the trailing support line. All right, so you can see, right? We are above this trailing support. If it goes even higher, this trailing support will follow. All right. In fact, I think when we break the 580 level, right, we might even see a new bullish signal. All right, and that is where I think it can go even faster. All right. So Dave, if you're asking about, you know, this Sembcorp Industry, I think it looks okay. All right. I think it can stay above like the 550 to 540 level. Pretty okay, but in order to see more upside, we need to break above that 580, right? $5.80. Targets could be raised all the way to maybe to $6 or to $6.50, and it could be a new upside, right? And I might even want to cover it more actively as well when that happens. All right, Dave. So I hope that answers the questions. All right. So let's see what are some of the stocks that maybe Bervyn and Z can help me to cover as well. Let's see. Okay. Z, your turn. Z, your turn. Go ahead. What stock do you want?
I think Jason is asking about CapitaLand Invest, right? CapitaLand Invest. Okay, let me just share my
You want to do that? Okay, go ahead. Okay, so this is Z's screen. Yeah, go ahead, Z.
This is my screen. Okay, so I hope everybody can see and can hear. Okay, so for CapitaLand Invest, Jason, you can see that, you know, the trend, right, actually has been going down since even start of 2023, right? All the way we can see that the trend is actually, the stock is actually in a downtrend, right? Why? Because the 200 days moving average is above the 100 days and above the 20 days moving average. And somewhere in September, we actually see that there's some short-term strength returning back to this stock, right? It actually rallied up all the way to 320, but right now we see that, you know, within a span of about 1 month to 2 months, since October, right now it came back all the way down and prices retraced all the way back down right now. So if you're thinking about entering for this stock, right, perhaps I would say maybe you want to wait a little longer, because the thing is that if we look at the longer term trend right now, based on the 100 days and 200 days moving average, they are kind of like just heading sideways, right? And furthermore, the short-term trend based on the 20 days moving average is actually still heading down if we look at the 20 days moving average right over here. So short-term strength is going down, longer-term trend is going sideways. Not exactly ideal if you are looking to buy, because when we buy, we want to buy in an uptrend, right? When we buy, we want to buy when the stock is heading up. Okay, so let me just turn on the trailing support and resistance to have a look as well. Okay, so for this right now, we can see that over here on the 29th of October, we actually see a 1 GT bearish signal coming out, and prices have been heading down below this trailing resistance line, right? Below this trailing resistance line. So it actually gives you an indication that the trend is actually not that great as well. And if I were to turn on these horizontal and horizontal support resistance, right now we actually see that, you know, there is support right over here, horizontal support around close to 240. So this is a level that maybe you want to take note as well. If prices were to break below this 240 horizontal support level, that's where we can actually see more weakness coming back into this counter, and definitely there will be another 1 GT bearish signal coming out, right? So for this counter, perhaps you want to take set some alerts to actually monitor you if prices can actually hold above this 240 first before thinking about entering. All right, so that's for CapitaLand Invest.
Okay, is that all? Z, maybe you want to cover Bervyn next. What you want to do something,
Sure.
Bervyn? What
Okay,
you
I
want?
think a couple of people were asking about Wilmar International. I think ST and Eugene were asking about Wilmar. Sure, then so I'll
Good.
cover
Do Wilmar.
Wilmar. Okay, so on my screen now, if you see Wilmar, so in the longer term side, you can actually see the 100 days and 200 days moving averages are still pointing down. So actually the downtrend has actually started quite a long bit ago, since 2022, the downtrend has started to form. Actually, we can see what we call lower highs actually forming. So every time prices start to hit higher, actually see a bit of sellers continue to come back in to actually push sellers back down. So actually this counter is a little bit on a play on the agriculture side. So I think prices have not been very good in the recent times. So we see cost going up, so price coming down as well. So prices have been actually testing this, what we call a psychological support at around this $3 level. $3 level is tested, quite a few times. 1, 2 here, and we are looking to actually come back to this level again, actually, as sellers actually come back at the start of this year. So one level to actually take note of will be the $3 level. If it remains intact, perhaps we could see the 20 days moving average, flatten out a bit, starting to point up. Maybe that's when there's some signs of reversal for this counter. But as of right now, we do not like the longer term trend of this counter. So if we turn on the trailing support and resistance, what we actually see that this trailing resistance actually still going down. So this indicates that, there's still a bit of a weakness in this counter as we head towards the $3 level. So one thing we can take note of is the 310 level, where the trailing resistance is currently at right now. So if this level is able to be breached, we're able to see prices, head back up slightly. Perhaps maybe we could see a little bit of a near-term strength come in. But taking into account the longer-term trend right now, is not a level that we actually want to get into as well. We want to see the longer-term trend start to turn upwards before we actually make any decisions on this counter. So if we turn on the 1 GT signals, I think very clearly here you see a 1 GT bearish signal that actually came in when the prices broke below this 310 level. So this is not a good sign that we actually want to buy into a counter that is still currently in a longer term downtrend. What we want to do is to wait for perhaps a reversal to come in before we make any decisions for this counter. All right, got it, Eugene?
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Right, so that is Wilmar, our stock number 4. So for those of you who have just joined us, right, welcome to this live session. All right, so we have gone on to talk about the STI. All right, and then we covered like 4 stocks already. I covered like Nanofilm. We have like Sembcorp Industry as well, and Z came in and covered CapitaLand Invest, and Bervyn just covered Wilmar as well. So let me just go ahead to look at the chat. And as I say, guys, you could do us a favor, go ahead to like and share this video as well. Like and share so we can reach out to more people can ask. And if you have not yet followed us, all right, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button so that when we go live in the future, you will be notified as well. All right, so some of you have some questions, right? can I ask a question on the one GT, the one good trend strategy? Of course you can, Victor, go ahead. I mean, if you have any questions, guys, go ahead to type in the chat. All right, today's session is to cover your stocks, but of course you have some burning questions about the strategy and things like that. Type in the chat. Hopefully we don't miss in the chat messages. We'll do our best to cover it as well. So Victor, go ahead. All right. Let's see. I think Peter, you're asking some questions as well. Is trailing support similar to moving average? Different, right? Trailing support is our own indicator. Basically, it's part of the One Good Trend Pro indicator that we have that pretty much follows prices as the stock or any asset classes to move up. It give it allowance or breathing space for it to move up. All right, and it stays below the price, right? So allowing it to take its time to move up. If it holds above the trailing support, it still looks okay. The moving average, on the other hand, that is another thing altogether. All right, that is pretty much give us an idea of the true trend of the particular stock. So we look at the longer term trend, even the short term trend from the moving average as well. So I hope that answers your question, Peter. All right, so you can type your question, guys, in the chat. All right, and let me go ahead to look at some of the stocks right now. We have Top Glove, right? Riha, you're talking about Top Glove. Let me go to talk about Top Glove right now. Let me just write it down very quickly. All right, so this is Top Glove, stock number 5, right? Number 5, right? And let's see how it looks, right? So you can see Top Glove. I'll not go too far, but I've turned on, the bullish and even bearish signals from my one GT Pro indicator. So you can see right over here, I can just turn it on in a matter of seconds. Pump, all right, comes out, it gives me a quick opinion. All right, got bearish signals somewhere in June 2023, all the way down. Some bullish signals, it starts moving up. Another bullish signal here in April. Look at this, went all the way up. An exit, got a bearish one. Came back down slightly, but let me bring your attention to the past 2 signals. So I think the first signal was right over here in, I would say, September last year, about 4 months back, or actually 4 months back. And in fact, we got another bullish signal right over here just in December. You see, started to push up a little bit higher. So how does Top Glove look right now? I think it looks pretty okay. It looks pretty okay. Why? I mean, the longer term trend is up just by looking at the red and the blue line. The short term trend, all right, it was like it was down. Of course, we got the bullish signals right over here. Let me just turn on the trailing support and resistance. You can see right over here. So we got the bullish signals. The trailing support pops up. It follows prices as it move up. All right. And you can see the 20 days moving average line started to point up, flat, up. And right now, you can see the 20 days moving average line is starting to flatten out, maybe point down a little bit, right? But are we still above this green trailing support line? The answer is yes, right? So I think if we can hold above that 0.38 level, all right, above this green trailing support, I think it looks okay. But if we were to go below it, then maybe a bit of a short-term weakness can come back, a bit of short-term weakness can come back. So let's see how it plays out. I think it can hold above 3.8. Maybe the short-term trend is just consolidating sideways, and we would maybe even see like a resistance. If we can draw it right over here, that would be a resistance at about 0.44. Look at it, right? Resistance here, resistance, a couple of bearish candles. So the range is 0.38 to 0.44. I think that is pretty much the range. Is as the longer-term trend is up, the short-term trend is a bit sideways, but we are hovering above the trailing support. So that is kind of like the range right now, 38 to 44, right? If I'm not too sure exactly when, right? But if we can break the 0.44 or maybe 0.45, great, right? We may even see a new bullish signal popping out. Targets could be revised all the way to 50 cents, maybe 55. That is what I would like to be alerted as well. And how do I be alerted? Well, as I say, as part of the One GT Pro indicator, we can actually set an alert. In fact, let me just do it right now, all right, in case I missed it. So let me just set alert right now for this stock, all right, based on the buy and sell alerts, once per bar, pump, right? So when there is any bullish or bearish signals on this stock, I will receive an app notification, an email, even a pop-up right over here, all right, on my screen. So that's how I do it. So for those of you who want to find out a little bit more as to, how do you get access to this One GT Pro indicator, or maybe even the entire framework behind, all right, the whole indicator and the strategy, right? Attend one of those free webinars. I think some of you are like asking, how do I find out more? How do I get what you're getting and stuff like that? I'll just place the link in the chat right now, all right, for the first time, right, in case you missed it. So that's the link right there in the chat to actually register for a free webinar, right, to understand a bit more on the entire strategy. As I say, I don't have time to cover everything today. All right, today is just pretty much covering your stocks based on the One Good Trend strategy and also the One GT Pro indicator, right? So that's the stock number 5, and that's on Top Glove. Let me go on to so that's the on the link is right there. All right, go ahead to click on the link and find out a bit more, attend all those free web class to find out a bit more on the entire One Good Trend strategy and how perhaps you could use this indicator to guide you as well. All right, okay, let's move on to, let me just cover one more before I pass back the mic to maybe Bervyn or Z, right? So let's see, maybe we have like Bumitama Agri, right? Bumitama Agri, where is it? I think I saw Bumitama Agri somewhere. Okay, Wing Choy, low Wing Choy, all right? Bumitama, I think that should be Bumitama Agri. Let me type it, right? Bumitama Agri. Where is that, right? So that's a Singapore stock. Let me just write it now. Okay, so Bumitama Agri. Okay, let me just turn it like a bit off so it's not so messy. And let's take a look at what it says right over here, right? Wow, pretty good move. Look at this, right? Bullish signals, pretty strong. Look at this. This was in like October 2023. Pump. Two signals, all the way up. A bit of bearish signal, consolidated sideways a little bit. Another bullish signal, bearish one. So you can see a couple of bearish and bullish. It means it just moves a little bit sideways. So when we are seeing like a bullish and a bearish coming out, it just means a bit of a sideways consolidation. But look at this, right? We finally have a pretty good bullish signal in 25th of September, just about 3-4 months back, all right? And look at this, right? The green line, all right? So when we were moving sideways, right, this green line, the 20 days moving average, was actually flattening out, right? Of course, the longer term trends, okay, let me just explain now, okay? So the red and the blue line, the red one is the 100 days moving average. The blue one is the 200 days moving average, all right? And of course, the red is above the blue. So the longer term trend is up, right? Since not just last month or last week, since like, I don't know, last year. Just by looking at the red and blue, all right? The red was went above the blue since 2023, all right? So the longer term trend has been up since last year, right? 2023, okay? But the short term trend, it doesn't mean it's always up, right? The short term trend you can be a bit of sideways, can be a bit of down and stuff like that, right? So we only want to get in when both, right, the longer term trend and the short-term trend is up, all right? And of course, we want to wait for a bullish signal as well. And look at this right over here. Look at this, right? So you can see we got a bullish signal. Of course, the green line that was like flat started to point up, all right? So that would be another confirmation, all right? Longer-term trend up, short-term trend up. Bullish signal came out. Of course, you look at this, another confirmation would be like the candlestick. That's a bit more advanced stuff, and you'll find out a bit more. Attend one of those free webinars, guys. All right, I don't have time to cover that, but look at this right over here. We've got a pretty good bullish candlestick coming on that day as well. Off we went. Off we went. All right, so let's take a look at what has happened today. All right, in fact, as we're talking right now, actually, we have a bearish signal coming out. So let me just go to share with you guys why. Who is asking about Bumitama, Wing Choy, right? So let me just show you right over here. So let me just Wing Choy. Okay, so you can see, let me just turn on the trailing support line. All right, so after having this bullish signal in September, right, you can see, right, green line point up, the trailing support pops out, it follows prices and moves up, it allows it space for it to move up, right? But you can see over the past few hours, right, in fact, this is like today, Friday 10th of January, is like today. Right now the price is 0.835. Can you see, guys, see that we have like slightly gone below? I mean, I'm not too sure whether by 5 p.m. later it'll be like that. But right now, if you're looking at it, it has slightly gone below the trailing support line. And that's the reason why this bearish signal pops out. And if you look slightly higher, you can see that the green line has started to also point down. You guys following so far? All right. So if you ask me right now, a little bit shaky today. I mean, because the green line is pointing down. I mean, if the green line is pointing down and we still hold above that, trailing support whereby allowance is given, it gives it accounts for the volatility. I think it's still okay, right? But the fact is that the green line is pointing down today. I mean, like right now, we are kind of like going below this trailing support whereby we really give it breathing space and it's using up the breathing space and still breaking below that trailing support. That's where you want to be a bit more careful. So I think we'll see whether this signal stays by the end of the day. If we stay below this trailing support, it will stay there, and then that's where you want to be a bit more careful. The short-term trend could be down. We might see a bit of a retracement. It doesn't mean it will crash all the way or what. I mean, just might see a bit of retracement, maybe to like 82 or 80 cents or 78. We don't know where. All right, but let it consolidate, let it stabilize. Maybe like this. Wait for a new bullish signal. Wait for the trend. Wait for another bullish signal. Wait for the short-term trend to turn up again. Then get back in again. Does it make sense? All right. So that's what my take is, right? So I think the longer-term trend is up. The short-term trend, unfortunately, maybe a bit of weakness because we have seen a bearish signal coming out as we attempt to break the trailing support. Obviously, the 20 days moving average line is pointing down as well. All right, so that is for Bumitama Agri. Pretty strong stocks. In fact, we have covered this stock since last year, rode it all the way up. All right, bullish signal, rode it all the way up. But, by just having an indicator to guide us, not just to buy and then hold forever and then, comes all the way back down and then you have no idea what's happening, right? No, right? So, guides you to get in, but not just about getting in, but also when to get out, right? Because I think getting out is very important, right? Most people tend to just get in and buy and buy and buy and then see how and wait and, no, right? We want to know exactly when to get out as well. And that's how this indicator can help you as well, all right? Based on the one good trend strategy. So that is Bumitama Agri. Okay, let me just pass on the mic back to Bervyn or Z. Maybe Z, you can help me out. What stock do you want, Z? Go ahead.
Okay. So I saw a few of you asking about ComfortDelGro, right? RLTK, ST, and also I think Cassie, right? The latest one is Cassie. Cassie, you're asking about ComfortDelGro, right? Okay, let me just cover ComfortDelGro. Okay, so I hope you guys are seeing my screen. Okay, so for ComfortDelGro, right, we can actually see since like 2022, right, prices has actually been going down, and somewhere in June, July, there's actually a reversal for this stock, right? There's a reversal for this stock, and prices right now actually went up about 57, close to 60% already, I would say, close to 60% already since the reversal. So when the reversal actually happened, right, one thing that we actually always take note of would be this thing, which is the 100 days moving average crossing above the 200 days moving rate, crossing above the blue. So this actually gives you an indication that the longer term trend is actually starting to turn up. And what's even better is that we can actually see that, the 20 days moving average, which is the shorter term trend, is also heading up, right? So the short term trend and the longer term trend are both aligned. So that is actually a good sign. That is actually a good sign, right? Okay, so right now, let me just zoom in to where we are right now. Right now, for the longer term trend based on 100 days and 200 days moving average, I would say that it's still pretty decent, right? Because you see the 100 days and the 200 days, they are actually still heading up. But in terms of the shorter term trend, which is the 20 days moving average, unfortunately, it has just crossed below the 100 days moving average and is pointing down a little. So it actually means that, there is some short-term weakness returning to this stock. All right, so let's just turn on the trailing support and resistance to have a look as well. So over here, we can see that, price actually went up in August, came back down to retest this trailing support right over here somewhere in October. It managed to hold above it. Now, currently, it's kind of like in a sideways consolidation, right, for a bit. And then now it's again retesting this trailing support once more, right? So let's just turn on and see if there's any buy and sell signals. Okay, so for the buy and sell signals, there is actually one GT bullish entry appearing on the 15th of August. As of now, there isn't any 1 GT bearish signals yet. But like what I've mentioned earlier on, now price is actually testing the trailing support right over here. Let me just turn it on quickly. It's just testing the trailing support right over here. So I would say that there is some short-term weakness returning. So if you're in this counter, perhaps you want to monitor and be careful a bit, because if prices were to break below this trailing support, we might see more weakness returning back to this counter. And in terms of those who are actually already in this counter and you're looking to take some profit, right? We can actually see and tell that, there is some resistance right over here at around 152, because that's where sellers actually return and push price back down to retest this trailing support. And in terms of support level, if I were to draw it manually without the trailing support, let me just turn this off. It probably will be somewhere around here, right? Let me just turn this to green, because right over here, it was actually a resistance in the past. It broke above this resistance, turning it to be a support. Prices came down, retested, and we see, buyers came in and pushed prices back up. So for those thinking of ComfortDelGro, these are the levels that perhaps you want to set some price alert on to notify you if there what is the action that you should take subsequently. All right, so that would be for ComfortDelGro.
All right, thank you so much, Z. All right, thank you so much. For those of you who are asking about certain stocks, I tell you what, because some of you are asking about stocks that we have actually covered already. So before I pass on the mic to Bervyn, right, guys, let me just go ahead to share with you the stocks that we have covered so far. All right, let me just share with you the stocks that I've covered so far. So basically, for those of you who have just joined us, welcome to this Ask Me Any Singapore Stocks live session. All right, and pretty much this session, we have gone through like about 7 stocks already, not just me, but Bervyn and Z has helped me as well. And they've covered the 7 stocks. So what are the 7 stocks? So first of all, we talked about the STI right at the upfront, right, as we began. All right, and then I talked about Nanofilm, that's stock number 1. Number 2, Sembcorp Industry. So Some of you are asking about Sembcorp Industry. That's been covered. That's stock number 2. CapitaLand Invest number 3. Number 4 is Wilmar, which Bervyn covered. We have Top Glove. We have Bumitama Agri as well. And of course, Z has just covered number 7, which is ComfortDelGro. So if we have covered the stocks already, we are not going to cover again. We'll try to cover more stocks. So in case we have covered and then you missed it, not to worry, right? This is on YouTube, right? So good to check out the YouTube channel. Hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button so that you can check out after the live show has ended. Watch the replay, all right? Go ahead to find the stock that you want, all right, in case you have missed it just now when we covered it. Does it make sense? All right, so let me pass on the mic to to Bervyn right now as we go ahead to Bervyn. Go ahead. What stocks do you want?
Thanks, Joey. Okay, so I think just now Jeffrey was asking about OCBC. Yeah, I think this is one of the stocks that we can cover. I can cover this morning. I think one of the major constituents in the STI. So I think a lot of people are watching this stock, especially after the bank's run up in the last few days as well. So of course, we saw that the prices or the longer term trend in this sense has clearly been up since 2024, early 2024. Prices have started to move up, came back down a little bit, but then quickly rebounded along the 20 days moving average and the 100 days moving average, as you can see right here. It rebounded quite substantially, I would say. So I think in 2024, we have actually recorded quite a big gain. So if we go back to the top, it's about 43%. Very, very respectable gains for Singapore counter. So if we see as prices approached the 1750 level, we actually saw a bit of a resistance come in and profit taking continued, I think, into today as well. Yeah. So what is the support level? I think we are going to be looking at. I think the support level right now will be around the $17 level, which I think is close to the 20 days moving average, and that's when maybe you can see a little of buying comeback as we saw in today's market as well. In the last 2 hours of trading, prices actually came back down, but buyers actually came back in a little bit already this morning to actually push prices back up to about 17.20 right now. So if you're thinking of getting in, I think the key level to watch out for is the psychological level of $17. All right. So if we turn on the trailing support, let's see what it tells us. All right. Okay. So it's pretty much in line with what we have mentioned just now as well. So as our prices head up, the trailing support followed to actually head up as well. So the trailing support is about 16.80, close to the $17. So this is a level that we want to actually take note of. So in an uptrend, we tend to want to take note of this trailing support. Why? Is because if prices dip below this level, this is potentially where you want to set a stop loss order or stop limit order in order to protect your profit, especially if you've been riding the uptrend. So that's very important. You don't want your profits to become losses as well, right? Okay, so if we turn on our buy and sell signals or our 1GT signals, you can actually see that somewhere in November, prices actually broke above the trailing resistance. That's why we have a 1GT bullish signal that actually came out. And then prices started to head higher, consolidated a bit, head higher, tested the $17 level before finally breaking above it. So right now, there's no 1GT bearish signal. So for those of you who are continuing or those of you who are holding on to this counter, I think you still can hold on to this counter, but watch out for the key levels. And if you want to potentially take profit close to the 1750 level as well, nothing wrong to do that as well. Yeah, and then if prices come back down, that's when you can plan your re-entry as well. All right, okay. That's all for OCBC. Maybe I pass the time back to Joey.
All right, thank you so much, Bervyn, for covering OCBC. I think some of you are asking about like the banks as well. Okay, let me just go ahead to show you like markers, right? So I think Bervyn has covered like OCBC, all right, and there's still DBS and there's still UOB, right? So should I cover them? Why not just cover them, right? Since they are the bank as well. But before I cover the banks, maybe I think there's some questions that are coming in, like Linda, all right, Linda, thank you so much for being here as well. How to access the 1GT? I think you're asking about the 1GT Pro indicator that we are kind of like, demoing right now live. Is it on a subscription basis? Yes. All right. So to find out more, Linda, very simple. As I say, this is just pretty much an Ask Me Any Stocks session whereby we just dive into the stock that you guys are asking about. Find a bit more, attend one of those free webinars. Right? I think we have one next week. Right. So just click on link. Let me just place the link in the chat one more time. All right. attend all those free webinars whereby, that's where I'll share with you guys a little bit more in terms of the one good trend strategy first before we dive into like the whole entire indicator. And also I'll share with you guys how perhaps you might want to have access to it as well. All right. And of course, there'll be an offer which I'll share with you guys if you want to learn more and maybe even have access to this indicator. I think that's so powerful that I think any of you can use it, like how we're using it. All right. Gets you an opinion in seconds. All right. So that is the link, Linda, or just the link to join us in the free webinar next week. All right. So let me just go ahead to see what are some of the stocks. So I think markets, right? Markets. OCBC has been covered by Bervyn. So let me just go to talk about DBS, all right, and maybe UOB, right? DBS and UOB. So where is DBS? Let me take a look at DBS. Where is it? Right over here. DBS, right? Wait, wow. Let's take a look at it right now. And let's see what it says, right? So before I turn on like the signals, right, in terms of the 1 GT bullish and bearish signals, let's just take a look at this plain chart right over here, right? Right over here, you can see that DBS has been in a pretty strong longer term uptrend, I would say, since just by looking at the red and the blue lines. I mentioned, right, the 100 days moving average, the red line, the blue line is the 200 days moving average. So if the red is above the blue, both pointing up, are we in an uptrend in the longer term? Well, the answer is yes, right? So it's not just last month or 2 months or 3 months ago. In fact, since the beginning of 2024, right over here, right over here, you can see that the longer term trend has started to turn up. The red and blue line has pushed further away from, the gap between them has widened, all right, and they're both starting to point up. So longer term trend has been up, I would say, since like last year, after breaking this key resistance level for DBS. I covered it in my YouTube video as well. I think that was a very, very key level, around $29.50. Look at this. I mean, this was like, touch, right? Just couldn't get above it, right? And finally, touch came down. And finally, right over here, we broke above the 29.50, 29.40 level. Look at it, right? The green 20 days moving average line, which was pretty much like flared down, up a bit, that kind of thing. Finally, it pointed up right over here. Off we went all the way up, right? So that's where the longer term trend up, the short term trend also up, all right? And off we went, right? So of course, as I say, right, the longer term trend can be up, right? But doesn't mean the short term trend is always up, because the short term trend can be down, right? Just by looking at the 20 days moving average. Look at the green line, it started to point down over here, right? So the short term trend turned down. Right, but doesn't mean the short-term trend turn down means you get freaked out and scared, and stuff. No, right? What happens is that when short-term trend turns down, you could use it as an opportunity to get in again if it starts turning back up. All right, and especially if you see another bullish signal coming out from the 1 GT Pro indicator. Later I'll turn it on and let's see whether that happens. All right, but when that happens, you can see the green line starts to turn back up. That's where both the longer term trend and the short term trend is. I mean, you can see right over here, off we went. So let me ask you a question right now. Do you guys think that the longer term trend, I think all of you can answer, very simple. The red and blue is still up. That one I answer for you, okay? But the short term trend, anybody can tell me, right? Is the short term trend up or down right now? This time to check, guys. U for up, D for down. What do you guys think in terms of the short term trend? Just a little bit of a strategy part, right? What do you guys think about the short term trend for DBS? So this is DBS, right? This is DBS right over here. What do you guys think about the short-term trend? Is it up or down? Let me know. What do you guys think? So now we're talking about DBS, right? And I'll just cover UOB in a bit. Let's take a look. What do you guys think about DBS's type? Is it up or down? Well, very simple. Thank you so much, Jimmy, Francis, up as well, up, Saraju, up. So all of you get it correct. The short-term trend is up as well. Why? Just by looking at the green line, you can see this green line is still slightly sloping up, right? Slightly sloping up. So still okay. Of course, we saw a bit of a sell down. What's the market is, DBS has pushed up quite strongly on Wednesday, leading the STI even higher. All right. But you can see that a bit of profiting came back and we have put back down. But it's fine, right? It's fine. I think the green line overall is still sloping up, right? So let me go to turn on what we call the bullish and bearish signals from the 1 GT, the 1 good trend Pro indicator. Let's turn on 1, 2, 3, pump off on it. There we go. So let me just go to explain to you right now so you can see that I'll not go too far, but right over here, can you see right over here, guys, when I talk about, us breaking that resistance level, that 29.50, 29.40 level, I draw this circle just now. And of course, now if I turn it on, you can see that it actually, we had a bullish signal right over here. So let me just put it one side. You can see I just turn it on, turn it off, on, off. All right, so you can see we had the bullish signal right over here coming out as that happened. And as I mentioned, right, the green line point up, off we went. All right, we got two bearish signals coming out right over here. Down we went. All right, so I say when you see a bearish signal, maybe think about getting out, take some profit, because you can see after the first bearish signal, you might not take some profit, right? Don't be greedy and stuff, right? Because you can see we start to hit down even more. All right, so just wait out, right? Be patient, wait for a new bullish signal. Look at this right over here. We got a new bullish signal. The green line started to point up. Off we went. Another bearish signal, went sideways a little bit. And check it out, right? The most recent signals was in October. 1, pump. 2. Let me just turn on the trailing support line as well, right over here. You can see, right? So first bullish signal, second bullish signal went up even faster. And we got a third bullish signal coming out, right? So I think the third bullish signal came up because we were actually attempting to break above the 45, right? Let me just draw this very key resistance level. You can see right over here, we actually attempted to break this 45 resistance level, whereby we have been trading below it for almost 2 months, right? For more than a month, right? Trading below it. We went above it. Unfortunately, the market weakened, came back down, right? But that bullish signal came up because at least we attempted to break to a new high, right? To a new high. So the question is that, are we still looking bullish? Well, I would say it's okay. I mean, it's been bullish since not the last week or last 2 weeks, but since like October, all right? And of course, we got this bullish signal. It started to play out. Are we still holding above this trailing green support line? Yes, we're still holding above it. Get this right, we're still above it. I think we can stay above that 43.50, all right? It still looks pretty good, right? It still looks pretty good, right? And that's where I think 43.50 might consolidate. Hopefully, we attempt to break the 45 again. Stay above this 45. Great, right? That is where I would say targets could be raised, maybe all the way to like 48 to 50. That's where we could potentially see more upside. And this new bullish signal can continue to play out, right? Unless we see a bearish signal, right? What do I mean by bearish? Like these two signal, bearish one coming out. Yes, then we may start to see weakness. If not, why not just ride it, as much as we can? All right, does it make sense? So that is for DBS. So just to dive a little bit deeper. So this is DBS. Let me move on to the next one, which should be like UOB. All right, UOB very quickly. I think the very popular OCBC, DBS, and UOB. So this is UOB. Some of you might be asking as well. Let's take a look. We have, let me take a look at the chat a bit, right? Okay, so the banks, right? The banks. Let's see. Archie, banks. STI is mainly about the banks. Exactly, right? So we have covered like OCBC. We have covered DBS, and now we are looking at UOB, right? UOB. So let me go ahead to cover UOB right now. Okay, let's take a look. So this is UOB. Okay, let's take a look, right? So you can see pretty good as well. I'll not go too far, but you can see longer term trend for UOB has been up. We got pretty good bullish signals in March last year. Another one went up even faster. Bearish one came down. Another bullish went back up. A bearish one even moved sideways a little bit. Oh, look at this, right? This was pretty good, right? That was in when? November. Look at this, November. Another one went up slightly more. And we got a new bullish signal as well. I think we are actually attempting something like DBS, right? We were actually attempting to break this resistance level. Like just write it down. I think this is pretty critical as well. 37.50, $37.50. That is a key level for UOB. Right, that's a key level for UOB because I think as we attempt to break that level, it's a pretty good bullish candlestick, but some profit taking came back. We came back down below it. All right, but it's still okay because we are still hovering above the trailing support. Where's the trailing support? I think somewhere around this level, about $36, $36.20. We stay above it, still okay. All right, maybe attempt to break the 37.50 again. And that's where this bullish signal can start to play out. So that's how, having a signal, kind of like, having an indicator like this can guide you on not just about getting in, but also when to get out, especially if you see like a bearish signal. All right, Ken. So that is pretty much UOB. Let me just pass on the mic to maybe like Z again. Z, what do you do next?
Okay, so I saw somebody asking about WeHer, right? SK is asking about WeHer. Okay, so let's take a look at WeHer. WeHer for this stock, over the past couple of years, since like 2022, 2023, we see that there isn't much movement in this stock at all. You can see that it's kind of like just moving sideways, and all three moving averages are also going horizontally, right? Only somewhere until like in 2024, somewhere in June, we start to see a bit more action, but only really what actually happened is in September, somewhere in September. Let me just draw this line right over here. So somewhere in September actually broke above this resistance, right? Turning it to become a support. And that's when the stock actually really rallied all the way up. And this is where we can also see that, the moving averages actually really starts to point upwards, right? Especially the 20 days moving average together with the 100 days and 200 days moving average. And since then, we are actually seeing, a price move up of about more than 100%. So that is a very pretty good move, right, for this stock. But as of now, so what is actually happening to this stock as of now, right? So we can see that, after it broke above, prices went up all the way to the high of about, somewhere at 54 cents, right? About 54 cents. And then after that, selling pressure came in, pushed price back down, and then prices try to hit up again. But this is where it's being kept at, right? About this $5, at about this 50 cents level, which is actually a resistance level, because we can see that, sellers came back in to push prices back down at least 2 times, right? At least 2 times. 1 time, 2 times, right? And this is where the support level is at, because this is where we see that, when sellers came in, this is where buyers came in to actually support the prices, right over here around this 40 cents level, right? Around this 40 cents level over here. So let's turn on the trailing support and resistance to take a look at the trend, right? Okay, so like what we mentioned earlier on, prices actually break above this level, continue heading up. Prices still continue holding above this green trailing support line. But right now, we are seeing price below this trailing resistance line. So this trailing red resistance line right over here. And what can we tell about the short-term trend as well? Short-term trend based on the 20 days moving average, we are actually indeed seeing some short-term weakness, right? Why? Because the 20 days moving average is actually pointing down. It's actually pointing down, right? But in terms of the longer term trend, I would say that it's still pretty decent, because we can see that both are still heading up, right? But as of now, there is just some short-term weakness happening. Okay, there's some short-term weakness happening. So let me just turn this off and let's see the buy and sell signal. Okay, so right over here. Do you guys see this signal right over here when it actually came out? This signal right over here, somewhere on the 5th of September. This is where price actually broke above, and there is actually a 1 GT bullish entry signal, and it went all the way up. So this is actually a pretty good signal, right? So if you were to enter somewhere around here, and this is, if let's say you were to exit at where the 1 GT bearish entry came out, that would still be a decent 81% profit, right? So this is a very relatively good signal right over here. And after that, right over here, like we mentioned, sellers came back in, push price back down, and this is where we see a 1 GT bearish. But right now, the latest signal that we see is actually a 1 GT bearish signal right over here on the 17th of December. But as we mentioned earlier on, these two are the levels that you should actually take note about, somewhere at 40 cents and about 50 cents for the resistance, right? And in terms of targets wise, because right now price is actually going like this, right? It's actually going like that. So it could potentially go either way. It could actually go up, or it could actually go down, right? No one would know where the price will actually go. So this is where it's crucial for you to actually set some price alert at the support and resistance level, so that you are able to so that the price, right, is able to let you know what action should you take. Okay, if prices were to break below this 40 cents level, that's where you want to be a bit more cautious, you want to be a bit more careful, and where could it potentially head to, right? The question is, where could it potentially head to? So we always use this thing, just a little bit more in depth, but we always use this thing called like a range projection as well. So right now, prices actually trading within this range, right? So if prices were to break and hold above this resistance level, potentially we can see price heading towards this 60 cents, right? This 60 cents. So this could be a potential target, but also, like I've mentioned, prices could actually break below this support level, which is the 40 cents. And what could potentially happen, and where could we see price heading towards, right? So same thing, if we were to change this projection downwards, this could be a potential level that we are looking towards. All right, so I hope that helps for Weher. So now I will pass the time probably over to Bervyn so that he can actually analyze the next stock for you guys.
Sure, thanks Z, thanks Joey. Okay, so I think just now Catherine was asking about SGX. Sure, I'll cover SGX right now. Okay, so I think since early 2023, prices has been kept between pretty tight range of between $9 to $10 lah. So I think subsequently, I think in somewhere in August, where I think their report actually showed that, you know, the derivatives business is starting to pick up back again, and then the clearing revenue is of course higher, so prices actually started to head higher after breaking this key $10 psychological support level, or previously was a resistance lah. So it was a resistance turn support level right now. So also you can actually see that somewhere also in August, the longer term trend actually started to point upwards already. So with the 100 days moving average crossing over the 200 days moving average, and clearly the 20 days moving average also pointing up, and subsequently prices started to hit higher alongside the moving averages. Okay, so with that being said, you can see that, you know, in the recent times, prices have pushed higher, pushed above the $12 level finally, which was roughly the previous high, as you can see somewhere in 2021. So it reached new highs for SGX already. So what's next? What's next for SGX? Actually, when we saw prices approach this $13 level, we actually saw some sellers come back in for profit taking already. Okay, so as we hedge closer towards this $12 level, buyers actually start to come back in again before it started to sell down as of today. Okay, so I think this $12 level would be a key level right now for us to actually monitor to see if, you know, prices actually rebound from this level before we go back to test the $13 level, where maybe you can see a little bit of consolidation just below this level before it starts to hit higher, or it tries to hit higher. But I think if you are currently holding onto this counter, what are the levels for you to actually look out for? I think you can go back to your trailing support and resistance to take a look. Look right here, the trailing support is close to this $12 level. So where would you actually set a stop limit order to protect the profit, especially if you have been riding it since the reversal of the trend? You could actually set it right below your trailing support levels, about maybe I think for SGX about 5 to 10 bits will be okay because of the price level. So if you are looking to get in, this is where you can potentially consider to get in as well. So if we turn on the buy and sell signals, all right, so right now the existing 1GT bullish signal is still valid. There's no exit signal as of yet, even as prices sell down today. But if prices break below this trailing support, that's when you will see a 1GT bearish signal coming up. That's when you want to protect your profits or stop your losses as well. So if you're looking to get in, I think around this level would be fine. So that would give you a profit or profit target, I would say, of about 7%, risk reward about 4%. I think that's a pretty decent trade if you're actually looking to get in as well. So as long as what we continue to see, or what the longer term moving average continue to show as longer term uptrend, prices do not break below these key levels, I think we can continue to, you know, hold on to this counter. And if you wish to accumulate on the dips, this is one level to actually continue to look at as well. All right, Katrin? All right, Joey.
All right. Thank you so much, Bervyn. All right, so that's a little bit more advanced stuff. Thanks, Bervyn, for sharing that. So I think Bervyn actually talked not just about the stock, whether to buy or sell, but he dived a little bit into some of the more advanced stuff, which is about risk management, about reward to risk ratio, how you want to have a more reward for a smaller amount of risk that you're taking. All right, so I think that's good stuff. As I say, guys, you're gonna find a little bit more into the entire strategy about how you get access to the indicator and stuff like that. Attend one of those free webinars. The link's in the chat. All right, place it in the link already there. So check it out. Click on it. Register. I think we have one next Wednesday. All right, and that's where I look forward to share with you a bit more. So let me go on to the next stock. Let's see what we have over here. So I think we have okay, let me just quickly share my screen, and we have okay, let's see, Propnex, right? So this is my screen right now, and Jimmy Wong, thank you so much, Jimmy. You're asking about Propnex, right? Sorry for letting you wait a while. I saw your comment was hidden. So by the way, guys, first of all, our apologies if we cannot cover all the stock, or sometimes maybe you type already and then it goes up and then we missed it. My apologies. We're trying our best, right? In case we missed it, you type it again, all right, and then you come back down again, and then we will try to cover it as well. All right, so my team, while I'm talking, my team is actually scrolling through, Bervyn and Z is scrolling through the chat messages to make sure that we don't miss out, right? But same thing, apologies if we sometimes we get swarmed and then we missed out. All right, okay, so Jimmy Wong, Propnex. Okay, I think there's one question that is asking. Let's see. I think there's some questions. So before I talk about Propnex, maybe let's just pull out this question, right? Victor Sim. If the 1 GT Pro bearish signal suggests we exit from the counter, wouldn't it be too late to do so, as most bearish signal is followed by a sharp drop in price? Wouldn't we be selling low? That's a very good question, right, Victor? But you can see that, basically, based on the bearish signal, the question is that after having a bearish signal, right, it might be slightly lower, all right? But what happens after the bearish signal? Would you want to hold it so that you go even lower? I don't know. I mean, we probably don't want to do that, because when we have a bearish signal, it means we have broken one of the key trailing support level that we have accounted for the volatility, we have given it allowance, and yet you still go below it. Not so good. Of course, we look at other things like the short-term trend, the 20 days moving average. So that is where you want to take this opportunity to get out. Maybe I can take a look at Propnex and see and answer your question, right? So normally when we do see a bearish signal, it means that there is some form of short-term weakness. Even though the longer-term trend is up, but there could be some form of short-term weakness. It could guide you to really get out, because we might have came down a little bit, but think about what happens if you don't get out. Think about what happens if that you can go down even more. Does it make sense? All right. So I hope that answers the question, Victor. All right. But that's a good question, by the way. All right. Let me go back to Propnex. Right. Propnex. Where are we? Right. This is Propnex. Let me just turn on Propnex by Jimmy Wong, and let's take a look at it. So this is Propnex. So you can see for Propnex, I'll not go too far, but you can see, wow, pretty good bullish signals right over here in January 2023. Pump, right? All the way up. We got to exit 45%. All right. In 2 months, 2-3 months. All right. And Victor, your question, right? If we get bearish signal right over here, right? So we've got a bullish signal went up, and then your question will be, once we get a bearish signal coming out, wouldn't it be too late, because, you sell somewhere at the low? I wouldn't think it's too late, because I'm more afraid that if you don't see the bearish signal, then you would probably hold it all the way down. Then that would be like a 20% sell down after the bearish signal. So the question is, are you okay with the stock going down by 20%? All right. If you say okay, then you can hold up. But I think I would rather not want to hold and then go all the way down if I see some bearish signals like this. Does it make sense? All right. So I hope that answers the question, right, Victor? All right. So of course we got some bullish. So why not wait for a bullish signal to come out again? Like we see over here, another one, and then you think about getting back in again. All right. Rather than just just hold it all the way down and then you lose 20%. And then now when it starts to reverse back up, you're back to square one. Does it make sense? All right, so I hope that answers your question. Okay, so let's move on. So you can see bearish signals here. This was Propnex in like June, a bearish signal. Another one went down even more. Wow, let's take a look at it right now. Okay, so this is Propnex, all right? And we got some pretty good bullish signals somewhere in September. Wow, look at this, right? Bullish signals, all right? The short-term trend was down, starting to flatten out. And look at this, right? The green line, all right, started to point up, right? So is the green line still pointing up? Is this green line still pointing up? Right? Answer is yes. The answer for you, right? The primary school, yes means yes, no means no. Okay, Ken? So the green line is pointing up. The longer term trend, look at the red and blue, have started to come like cross one another, red above the blue. So longer term trend has started to show signs of turning out from a sideways consolidation to a upwards movement as well, right? So longer term trend up, short term trend up. And obviously you guys can see that these two bullish signals that happen have started to play out really well. Let me just check out how much, based on these bullish signals, 23%, all right, in about 2 months and counting. I'm not too sure they can go even higher, but it looks pretty good. Let me just turn on the trailing support line right over here. So you can see when we got these bullish signals, right, as I say, this trailing support, the green line, right, follows the price as it moves up, right? Goes higher, the price, the trailing support goes higher. It goes higher, the trailing support goes. It'll be like, playing catch up with it, right? But it gives it space for it to move up. You don't want to be too close, right? Because we want to give it some space, some breathing air space, right? For it to move up. Hopefully, it can go up some more and I can follow you some more, right? So you can see right now that this green trailing support is right over here. So are we above the green trailing support line? The answer is yes. All right. Is the green line pointing up? The answer that's yes as well. So I think it looks pretty good. Maybe, just maybe, we might see a bit of a resistance level right over here at the $1. Why $1? Let me just go ahead to look at the past. All right. Right over here, you see $1 previously was a psychological resistance. We came down, we neared it right over here. So 2 times, right? 1 time. 2 times. Let me go all the way to the front over here. All All right, and that is potentially where we might see selling. Are you guys following so far? All right, that's a $1. All right, that's $1 psychological resistance. So if we were to see some selling, now it's what? Oh, now it's 975. So if we were to see some selling like 98 or 99 or 995, 985, whatever, right? That is normal, right? It is correct. It's supposed to see selling because that's where we have seen selling previously. It's a psychological resistance level as well. All right, and I think you'll take some profit near the $1 is fine. I don't need to be greedy, right? But what I'm actually looking for, let me just go to do it, right? In fact, what I'm looking for is that can we see more upside if we were to break above the $1 level? Let me just go to set some alerts. 101 pump, 102 done, 103 done. All right. So once it hits this, levels, all right, I will be notified. All right, and I think when that happens, of course, we look at some other things as well. We could potentially see maybe even a bullish signal coming out, all right? And we may start to see even more upside, maybe to 110, 120. I think it looks pretty good. As long, I say again, as long as we were to continue to stay above this trailing support line, as long as there's no bearish signal coming out, why not just ride it till we can ride it up to until a bearish signal pops out. Does it make sense? Right? So that is for Propnex. That's for Propnex. Let me just write it down. All right. Okay. So I think let me just go into cover, guys, very quickly. Right. Just the names of all the stocks we've covered, because some of you might just be joining us. You are a bit lost. And what have you covered? What have you not covered? Right? Am I going to ask it again? Will you cover it again? So I'm just going to say, all right, all the names of the stocks that we've covered so far. So we covered STI first, the Straits Times Index. And the first stock we covered was Nanofilm, Sembcorp Industry, CapitaLand Invest, Wilmar. All right. Top Glove, number 5. Number 6, we have Bumitama Agri. Number 7, ComfortDelGro. All right. And number 8, OCBC, the banks, right? Then we talk about the banks. Right? So number 9, we have DBS, which I did it. Number 10, UOB. All right. Number 11, we have WeHer, which Z covered as well. Number 12, SGX. And this is number 13, all right, Propnex. Let me just cover one more. I just look through the chat. Give me some time and we'll see. Let's see, right? Athena, Centurion. Okay, not too bad. Maybe I just cover Centurion. Okay, let me just start Centurion. Where is it? Centurion. Right over here. Pop, let's go. All right. Okay, so this is Centurion. Let's take a look at it right now. All right, let me just go ahead to maybe just turn off these signals. Right. So you can see, so these are the signals, right, that we have. Right, pretty strong signals. I mean, if I can turn it off, let it be a bit more cleaner. All right, this is what we see. You can see that the longer term trend, the red and blue lines has been up since last year, April. Look at this, right? Red above the blue, right? And then really started to see that rally after breaking this resistance level. So if I can draw this resistance level right over here, it was around that 42 cents. Look at this, right? So a bit of a consolidation sideways, came down, and right over here, when we broke above that resistance, the green line obviously started to point up. Why not? Let me just turn on the signal now to see whether it came out. All right, pump, let's turn it on. There we go, right over here. Can you guys see it? We saw a new bullish signal. In fact, 1 month back or 2 months back, we actually got 2 bullish signal whereby, just went up a little bit, all right, consolidated sideways. But when this third bullish signal came out, off we went, all right. That would be, I don't know how much that would be. I mean, we can start from here. Let's just start from here, right? That would be like about 43%, all right, in about 4 months, all right. So it came down a little bit, and we can see another bullish signal came out. That was in August last year, all right, and we went all the way up again from here to here, another 44%, all right, in 4 months, all right. So that was for Centurion, all right. And let's take a look. So you can see the green line started to point up. So let's see where we are right now. So we got a bearish signal coming out, all right, and you can see the short-term trend, the green line, which was like up, all right, started to point down slightly, maybe just flatten out a little bit, right? So let me ask you a question, right? Is the longer term trend still up, right? Is the longer term trend still up for this stock called Centurion, right? Centurion, is the longer term trend still up? Yes or no, right? Just type Y for yes, and for no if you feel that the longer term trend is still up. Let me know what you guys think about Centurion, right? Is the longer term trend still up for Centurion? Yes or no, right? Y for yes, and for no, right? So how do we tell the longer term trend? Very good. Thank you so much, Victor, Alice, Skip, Ihan. All right, awesome. So yes. So very simple. Longer term trend, as I said, right, is the red and the blue line. So to be honest, that's quite simple because the longer term trend has been up since last year, right? Very easy, right? But the short-term trend, you can see that it started to turn sideways, right? Just by looking at the green line, all right, it started to move sideways, right? And we actually have a new bullish signal coming out right over here, right over here, right? So let me just go to show you why exactly this signal came out. So let me just turn on the trailing resistance. You can see right over here. We actually attempted to, just a little bit, right? Actually attempted to break this trailing resistance, right? So I think just to give it a little bit of allowance, let me just go to draw this resistance right over here. Let me just draw it at $1, right? $1. I think $1 is a very, very critical psychological level, all right? We kind of like went above it, we came back down, below it again, all right? But I think if you can stay above the $1, you can stay above the 101 or 102 or 103 or 104, what? You can see I've set my alerts right over here. That would be another confirmation, all right, of the, more upside momentum. And that's exactly where we could see targets being raised maybe all the way to 110 to 120. All right, but right now you can see we can saw a bit of profit taking, came back down. But the fact is that we got this new bullish signal, and this kind of like trailing support have popped back up. As long as we stay above that 88 or 90 cents, I think it still looks good. We might just consolidate from 90 to $1. Hopefully we attempt to break the $1 to push even higher, whereby this signal can continue to play out. All right, so that is for number 14, right? And that is for Centurion, right? Let me just pass the mic back to Z, right? To Z to cover like one of the stocks. Z, go ahead.
Okay, sure. Let's see. Okay, I think somebody is asking about Frencken, right? Frencken. Let's just take a look at Frencken. Okay, so Frencken, who is asking about Frencken? X is asking about Frencken. X, I hope you are still here with us. Okay, so now I'm going to be covering Frencken, okay? Okay, so for Frencken, okay, so over the past year, right, we kind of like, okay, since middle of 2023, Q3 of 2023, we actually started to see prices actually rallied up, right? And in 2024, it was actually a pretty good uptrend. And then prices actually came down, went up again. And this is actually one of the very clear signs that this level, 170, is actually one of a very strong resistance level, right? Why? Because prices actually tested this level multiple times, at least 2 times lah. Then after that, sellers came back and actually pushed the prices back down, right? So 170 will be a very key critical resistance to actually take note of for this counter. And subsequently, we actually also see that, in August, that's where the 20 days moving average, right? First, it crossed below the 100 days. Then it also crossed below the 200 days. And subsequently, maybe a month later or so, we can see that the 100 days has crossed below the 200 days. So that's actually not a good sign, right? Because that's when you know that the trend is starting to turn and it's starting to reverse. And as of now, when we look at the moving average, what we see is actually a downtrend being intact, right? Because the 200 days moving average is below the 200 days moving average, is above the 100 days and above the 20 days. So when this actually happens, the downtrend is pretty much intact as of now. And I don't know if you guys actually realize it, right? Right over here, somewhere in February, do you guys see this thing? This is actually what we call a double top as well. So double top, what actually happens if prices were to break below the double top neckline, that's when we can actually see more downside towards a counter. So that's actually what we are seeing right now, right? And let me just turn on the trailing support and resistance to have a look as well. So like what we mentioned earlier on in Q3 of 2023 towards like 2024, it is a pretty good uptrend, right? Prices have been going up. Prices have been staying above the trailing support line, the green line right over here. Right over here somewhere, we actually see some selling pressure coming back. The red trailing resistance came out again. And then buyers came in, pushed prices back up, unable to break above this 170. Sellers came back in, push it back all the way down. And right now, we are actually seeing a green trailing support line here. Why? Because on this day, let me just turn this on. On this day, we can actually see, price closed at this trailing resistance line right over here. So hence we actually see a 1 GT bullish entry signal. But let me just tell you guys first, if you see a 1 GT bullish entry signal right now, right? But then the thing is that the overall trend is actually still down. Would you still want to buy into the counter? Because the thing is that we always hear this thing called the trend is your friend, right? And you want to be on the right side of the trend. So even though if let's say we see a 1GT bullish entry right now, but the overall trend and the longer term trend is actually still down, that's perhaps you want to be a bit more cautious. You want to wait a little bit more. And what we want to see is actually for the, let me just draw it for you guys, for the 20 days moving average to actually point back up first, right? Point back up first, and that will actually show you some short-term strength. And also, ideally, what we want to see is something like this, right? Something like this, whereby the 20 days moving average, let me just zoom in a bit more for you guys. 20 days moving average here, let me just close this first, so that it's easier for you guys to see. The 20 days moving average is actually heading up, and also the 100 days moving average crossed above the 200 days moving average here. So this is what we want to see in an uptrend, especially when you are buying, right? So right now, the thing is that, yeah, the trend, not so good. The trend is still, the downtrend is still pretty much intact, right? We are still not seeing any reversals yet. We are still not seeing the 100 days crossing above the 200 days yet. So for this counter X, I hope that, you know, it answers your question if let's say you are thinking about entering this counter. All right. So that would be for Frencken.
All right, thanks, Z. I think just now somebody was asking about this JMHUSD, so Jardine Matheson, right? Okay, so now if you look at my screen, you should be able to see the Jardine Matheson already. Okay, so just looking at the longer term trend first, okay? So previously prices was, you know, heading down a little bit all the way until recently the 20 days moving average broke above the 100 days moving average, broke above the 200 days moving average, and then the 100 days moving average broke above the 200 days moving average. So that shows that, you know, there's a potential reversal in the longer term trend. But what does the shorter term trend actually tell us? Okay, so I mean, very, very clearly, I think everybody can tell that the shorter term moving average, the 20 days moving average, is clearly pointing down. Pointing down. Why? Because actually, as prices approach the $46 level, we actually saw selling come back in, push prices lower, and prices are now trading very, very close to this psychological $40 level. So I think if for those of you who are actually looking very closely at these levels right now, you should actually see that very close to the 100 days moving average already. So what we do not want to see is the 20 days moving average cross below the 100 days moving average. That would show that, you know, there's a potential or there's the selling pressure remains very, very strong in this counter. Okay, so if we're able to see the 20 days moving average, you know, flatten out a bit, start to point up, and the 100 and 200 days moving average continue to point up, these are the signs that, you know, the longer term trend is still intact, or the reversal is still intact. So if that being said, let's see the trailing. All right, so very clearly, of course, when prices sell down, there's a trailing resistance. So trailing resistance show that, you know, there's a weakness in this counter, there's selling pressure still present. Do you want to get in? I mean, if just by looking at this, I believe most of you will be wondering, oh, should I get in close to this 40 level? Because it's a psychological support. No. Let's actually go back to what I talked about just now, where if are we able to see the 20 days moving average start to flatten out and start to point up, that's when you want to consider for entry. So that should be very, very aligned if you're actually on the 1GT bullish, 1GT signals. Does it show any 1GT bullish signals right now? No. There is, of course, a bearish signal that is still present. So with this bearish signal still present, do you want to enter this counter right now? I would say continue to monitor first, especially the longer term trend. If it still continues to point up, 20 days moving average continue to point up or flatten out, then point up. That's when maybe you can see this prices break above this trailing resistance to actually give you a 1GT bullish signal where you maybe can continue to ride the longer term uptrend. All right. Okay, Joey, passing back the time to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Bervyn. All right, very good analysis there. All right, so let's go ahead. I think we have come on for almost about 1.5 hours. It's almost 12 p.m. lunch. So maybe let me just share 1 or 2 more stocks or 3 stocks very quickly, guys, before we dive into the end of this session. As I mentioned just now, right at the beginning, right? Each of us, me, Bervyn, and Z, will be sharing with you just one top Singapore stock that we like, that you might want to put in your watch list. Of course, that we had some pretty good, movements, price action, some bullish signals as well on my 1GT indicator as well. So make sure you stay all the way to the end. So let me just go to look through the chat as well to see what are some of the stocks that you guys are looking at as well. All right, so as I say, my apologies if we cannot cover everything. Attend one of those free webinars so you can find out a bit more as to how you can have access to this indicator. And can you see yourself doing this, guys? I mean, nothing complicated. You can do that as well. All right, do what we do. But essentially, attend one of those free webinars to find out a bit more, and perhaps that's how you could have access to this as well. And you could do what we do, get an opinion in seconds whether to buy or to sell. All right. Okay, let me move on to the next one. I think we have like AEM. A few of you asking about AEM, right? We have a SK asking about AEM. Guiso as well asking about AEM. Seems like a pretty popular stock, so I thought why not just cover AEM. Jimmy, you're asking about AEM. I hope you're still here, Jimmy. All right. Let's see how many of you are asking about AEM. Quite a few of you, right? So I think this is Margaret as well asking about AEM. So why not let me just talk about AEM right now, right? AEM right now. So you can see for AEM, right, we saw, I mean, if you've been looking at the chart, you can see that we saw a pretty heavy sell down right at the beginning of last year, all right? Last year, 2024. You see, we kind of like just broke down like the tree. If I can just draw this support level right over here, that was a pretty strong support level. The green line just from flat, it just boomed down, all right, and it's all the way down. The trend started to turn from like sideways to down, right? This is by looking at the red and blue line. I mean, are we in an uptrend or downtrend? Obviously, we are in a downtrend just by looking at the red and blue line, because we never want to buy a stock, whereby the longer term trend is down, right? I mean, yeah, the short term trend could be up, but the longer term trend is down. So you are kind of like going against, not saying you can't, but you're kind of like going against the trend. I mean, like it's like the waves is coming in and you're going out. It's like, what for you go against the trend when you want to be along with it? Does it make sense? All right, so that's what happened. You can see right over here. In fact, if I can turn on my signals right over here, 1, 2, 3, pump on it, and let's check out what happened, right? So you can see, oh, look at that, right? So we got some pretty bearish signals come out, all right? Went down a little bit, and there we go, pump. All right, these bearish signals continue to play out, and we sold down even more. All right, you got a bullish signal, right? You can see it came down. Yeah, I mean, okay. So when we have a bullish signal coming out, right? Yeah, it means that maybe you might see a bit of a short-term strength. It might go up like 1 week, 2 weeks, maybe a bit of an upside. But when we look up at this point in time, you guys see that the red and blue is still pointing down, right? So the longer term trend is down. So just want to be a bit more careful. I mean, if you really want to buy, it's fine, but just make sure you have a plan to get out, because it might just turn back down again. Does it make sense? All right. So, and true enough, within like a month later, we got another bearish signal coming out. Another coming out, and it went even lower. So that's why I say why we have this you need to guide us to get out. I mean, especially if you see a bearish signal. I mean, if you just hold all the way down, that would be like a 43% sell down. I mean, if you just don't bother about it, or just leave it there, or see how, and then are you okay with another 43% sell down? So an indicator, right, is important because it takes the emotions out, and not just to guide you to buy. As I say, buying is very easy, but getting out is important because it saves you a ton of money. All right, if you have no idea when to get out, all right, you probably just do nothing and hold it all the way down. Does it make sense? All right, so let's take a look. So you go down, down, down. Okay, we managed to see a bit of a bottom. This is AEM right here. Let me just go to draw this line, okay, that came out in terms of a very good support level over the past 4 to 5 months. The 120, right, $1.20. You can see quite clearly. Came out as a bit of a bottom, right? We rebounded 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, all right? So yeah, thankfully, it did not go below 120 or $1 or 90 cents or 80 cents, right? We managed to see a bit of a support coming out at 120. Great, but does it mean that we are going all the way back up? I don't know. All right, let's try to find out right now. So you can see that 120 was this support level that came out, and there was a little bit of a resistance right over here at 150. All right, so at 30 cents range, you can see it was like down, up, down, up, down, up, down. I mean, that was the range, right? The range is right over here, right? From 120 to 150, 120, 150, right? So it's a 30 cents range. You want to get in near 120, get out near 150. That's fine, up to you as well. Of course, you can see that we have a couple of bullish and bearish signals. We got a new bullish, went up a bit. But let me put your attention to this recent bullish signal that came out. Look at this, right? So I think on the 3rd of Jan, which is last Friday, right? Last Friday, all right? We actually had a bullish signal coming out. Why did we have a bullish signal coming out? Because I think we kind of, as I mentioned, I think I just draw this line right over here, right? We broke the 150 the 150 resistance level, and that's the reason why we got this bullish signal. So yeah, it's gone up a little bit. I mean, like now it's 162. In fact, it went to like 175, and then a bit of profit taking when the market sold off over the past 2 days, right? So I think it looks okay. It looks okay in terms of the short term. To be honest, yeah, we may see some strength. We may see some strength. Whether is it to $2? Let me just draw it for you. I think maybe $2, right? 180 gives way. $2 could be a target. All right, that could be kind of like the upside targets until maybe we see like a bearish signal, and then maybe not so good. So if you ask me this stock, is it okay to buy? Well, what I can say is that there is some signs. I mean, we have found a bottom over the past 4-5 months, all right? There's some sign of the short-term trend turning up as well. Looking at the green line, again, the green line was like flat, up a bit, down a bit, right? Flat. Look at the green line right now. Is it pointing up? Yes. Do we have a bullish signal? Yes. All right. So can we see some short-term upside? Yes. All right. To where? I don't know. All right. I don't know. I really don't know. Right. But, you know, until we see like a bearish signal coming out, then we might want to think about getting out. But as I say right now, you know, we might head towards the $182. You can take some profit for the short term. That's fine as well, right? But what we're going to look for is this, right? So the short-term trend has turned up, but the longer-term trend, which is what I'm not so comfortable with, is that, you know, the rate is still below the blue. Agree? So the longer-term trend might still be actually down, all right? We're not entirely out of the woods yet in terms of like the rate and the blue line. What do I mean, right? So this is the blue line, right? I mean, it might just go, if we continue to hold above like the 150 or push to $2, but the blue line will be something like this, right? It might just go up a little bit. Fine, all right? And so that, let me just to try to predict that will potentially happen if we hit towards $2 and push even higher. That could be the blue line, the 200 days moving average. And the red line could be something like this, That would be the 100 days moving average, right? So when that happens, right, I'm just kind of like guessing, right? But when that happens here, all right, of course, this is what I'm guessing, right? But when that happens, that would give me a confirmation, right? Another confirmation that not just the short-term trend is up, but the long-term trend is up as well. Does it make sense? All right, so that's where I'll be much, much more comfortable. All right, I might even cover this up. But right now, okay, fine, short-term trend is fine, all right, but let's just wait and see whether the long-term trend, you know, catch up as well and eventually points up firmly as well. So that is AEM. I hope you guys find it useful as well. All right, so let's see. I think skip 100-day crossing MA. Is this a good opportunity to get in? Well, 100-day crossing the burst of 200-day MA. All right, what I draw over here, and hopefully it can happen. It's just an indication of the longer-term trend. It doesn't mean you just cross and you can buy. No, guys. This is not how it works, all right? There are still a few more other confirmations that you want to do. All right, this just gives an indication of the longer-term trend. So Skip, I hope that answers your question. Attempt all those free weapons to find a little bit more in terms of the step-by-step, what to look out first and second and third and fourth and fifth. All right, attend one of those free webinars, but we don't just look at this to just cross you buy, cross down you sell. No, not like that. Okay, can? Okay, let me move on to another one. So very quickly, I'll just move on like maybe to let's see. We have Oiltek. I don't know what stock is this. Let's check it out. Right, Oiltek, Oiltek. So very quickly, let's take a look. Wow, what stock is this? I mean, it looks pretty good. It looks like we have some pretty good bullish signals. I did not follow this stock at all, to be honest, all right? But it looks like we have some bullish signals in 2024, all right, in April. Well, another one came out right away here in September, and off we went, all right? So congrats. Who's asking about it? RLTK 993, right? So yeah, it looks pretty good. In fact, we got a bearish signal. So look at these guys. I mean, that would be like from this bullish signal to this one went up faster. 341%, all right, gain. All right, so if you get a bearish signal, please just get out, all right? But you know, that you can take steps to protect your profits, all right? And let's take a look at right now you can see we had 2 new bullish signals to come out. So let me just go to draw this resistance level if I can, right? I think just write it down. I think who is asking about this, right? Oiltek. I think just write it down. You want to take note of this $1.10 resistance level. All right, we're still below it. All right, we kind of like attempted to go above it, but came back down. I think if we stay, you know, kind of like below it is still fine, but I'm looking for an opportunity for that $1.10 resistance to give way, to break. I think potentially these 2 bullish signals can start to play out more. I'm not too sure whether is it another 300% or 100 or 200, but I think if we can break the 110, we stay above 110, we go to 114 or 113 or 115 or 118 or something. Targets can be revised to maybe 130 to 150. I'm not too sure, right? Until maybe we see a bearish signal, then we can maybe take an exit or get out. All right, but right now I think it looks pretty okay. So that's Oiltek. All right, Grand Venture, Baksung, just one more. Let me just write down, all right, Grand Venture. Where is that, right? Grand Venture. Okay, so we covered like AEM, and then we covered like Oiltek. Let me just write down so that I can say it at the end, all right? And then now we're looking at Grand Venture, right? So what is Grand Venture? What's this? Okay, I've not really followed this company. All right, you can see this company is a little bit illiquid, all right, in terms of like the candlestick bar, like the dash. Normally it's not much liquidity, but I don't know, it looks pretty okay as well. From the one GT, the one good trend pro indicator, we got a pretty good bullish signal right over here. Buxum, I hope you have bought it. Buxum, all right, look at this, we got a bullish signal. Off we went. Let me just turn on the trailing support line. If you're asking me how it looks, I think it looks okay. I mean, you got a bullish signal. The green line is pointing up. Longer term trend is up. We are above the trailing support. Green line still pointing up right over here. So I think it's okay. I think as long as we can stay above that 75 to 76, it still looks okay. All right, maybe a bit of resistance at about 88 cents or 90 cents. If we can draw it right over here, I think if we can break 90 cents, great. Maybe to $1, that could be the next target. But right now, seems like this bullish signal that came out on the 13th of December, Baksun, is still showing. I mean, there's no bearish signal coming out because we're still above this trailing support. So if it goes higher, this trailing support will follow, and it can go even higher and higher. I don't know how high it go, but just ride it until until we see a bearish signal, right? That's pretty much how the strategy works. All right, I hope that helps, Baksu. Okay, good. So let me move on, guys, to the final part of today's session. And I want to share with you guys, as I say, me, Bervyn, and Z will each share with you one top stock that I like. Would that be okay, guys? If you want us to do that, just type T for top, guys. If you want us to share with you guys a top stock, thanks, Margaret. Right? Thank you so much. We have a thanks, Zay, thanks, Bervyn. Thank you so much, guys, for saying thanks. I really appreciate that as well. Thanks for Frencken. Yeah, I hope you have covered some of the stock that you guys were asking about. Awesome, right? So Victor, understood. Awesome as well. All right, thank you so much. We have, let's see, right? So to appreciate and acknowledge all of you for just being here as well. All right, and would it be okay, guys? If you have found value so far, this type of V in the chat, if you have found value so far in whatever that we have shared in today's session, before we talk about the top stock, type V for value, you have found value, or hit the like. Would it be okay, guys? Hit the like and the share button as well. Show us some love. Hit the like and share button. All right, let me know, guys. Hit the like and share button. Right, thank you so much for hitting the like and share. All right, a lot of value as well. Awesome. Let's see, right? Value, Maria, Pongi. All right, top Dave, value, Catherine, value. Awesome, guys. I mean, this is the whole purpose of this Ask Me Any Singapore Stock session. We try to make it as engaging as well. Value, M, appreciate the education. Thank you so much, M. All right, V, value, Benko, awesome. Jiseng, value, Andy, thanks. Thank you so much. Zay, value, Victor as well. Okay, very good. Thanks, Live Folk as well. Good to see you here as well. Thanks, Boon Chin. Okay, very good. So let me go ahead, guys. Value and T. Thanks, Lihan. Good to see you as well. Some of you might be actually a client of mine in Philips Securities as well. And by the way, guys, right? In fact, some of those stocks that we covered, right? We actually shared with our clients in Philips Securities. So in case you are, I didn't cover it just now. My apologies, but I'm actually a broker. All right. In Philips Securities. So I'm a remiser broker in Philips Securities. So if you are actually trading, I mean, you need a trading account to trade, right? So I'm not too sure where you're trading, right? So some of you could be clients of mine in Philips Securities. You have a trading account under me, but just saying, if you're not, right? Maybe you're just scrolling through YouTube and Facebook, and we covered some of the stocks. You're very happy, but you have no idea who I am or who Bervyn and Z is. And I want to share with you guys that we are all actually brokers in Philips Securities, right? So if you want to get some of our top ideas by WhatsApp, live, daily, for free, check out how to become a VIP client under me in Philips Securities, right? Especially if you have a trading account right now. I don't know under where, under who, but you are trading and nobody send you anything. You got no ideas, you got no videos, no WhatsApp, nobody contact you. It's a hotline. You don't have anybody to ask me any stock session like this, all right? You're pretty much on your own. I don't know what to say. Right? Just let me just grab the link. All right, and place the link in the chat. Find out how you can become a VIP client under me in Philips Securities for free. All right, my apologies if I forget to mention that, but that is how you can come on board as a client ASAP. Just fill out the details in the link right in the chat right now. My team will reach out, and we look forward to sharing with you some of top ideas. All right, the link's right in the chat. I just bring it up as well. All right, so yeah, Check it out. The link is in the chat. All right. Find out how you can become a VIP client under me in Flip Securities for free. You do not, I say again, you do not pay anything more. All right. It's pretty much the same as whatever you're paying when you're trading. Does it make sense? All right. But of course, you want to have some service at least. I'm not too sure what service you're getting. Hopefully, you get some service from broker. If you do, please stay with them. But if you don't, nothing, nobody contact you, nobody do anything, nobody send you anything. Check it out. All right. Okay. So let me move on right now, guys, to the top stock, since a lot of you are asking about the top stock, T for top, right? Thanks, ST. Thanks, Francis, V, Value, Chris Mock as well. Lawrence, thanks for the take as well. Let me go ahead to cover the top stock. So I want to show you guys one top stock today that I like, all right? And you want to put it in your watch list before I pass on the mic to Bervyn and Z. So the top stock I want to show you will be this company called Riverstone. Now, Riverstone, let me just go to turn it on right now. All right, this is Riverstone right over here. As I mentioned, right, in fact, this was one of the stocks we covered since last year, all right, as a VIP client under me in Phillip Securities. As I say, we do share some ideas on WhatsApp daily. So those of you who are clients over here, I think you probably received a WhatsApp from me on this stock, all right, a few times already, all right, and that is Riverstone, right? So you can look at it right here. You can see that Riverstone is pretty much in a very strong longer-term uptrend. The red has been above the blue, not just last month or last month, but since last year. In fact, not last year, but last year. All right, look at this, right? Very strong long-term uptrend. And of course, the short term, we can see weakness. So as I say, long-term trend is up. Doesn't mean the short-term trend is up, right? You can see short-term, the green line point down. All right, you can see the green line point down. So when the green line points down, short-term trend is down. Should we buy? Probably not, right? I want to wait for both of them to point up. Does it make sense? All right. So let's see if we have any bullish and bearish signals from the One Good Trend Pro indicator. Let me just turn it on. 1, 2, 3. Pump. There we go. Let's see what happens. So look at this, guys. We had some, that's the reason why we shared this stock, right? Because basically we got some really, really good bullish signals coming out. In fact, in 2023, November, we got a few more. Another one came out, and there we went even faster. Another one, and look at the rally. I mean, that was in 2024, right? From here all the way to the bearish signal, 78%. All right, in about 10 months, 78%. All right. Of course, we have a bearish signal. The green line started to point down, the short-term trend point down. So you want to buy? No, right? Wait for the time to get in the game. When you see a new bullish signal, did it come out? Yes, it did come out. All right. Bullish signal came out, the green line started to flatten out, maybe point up a bit. And look at this right over here. We got another bullish signal right over here in November last month, just 2 months back. And there we go again. So let me just go to turn on this trailing support line right over here. Right over here, you can see the trailing spot pops out. It follows the price and it moves up. Right, hopefully it moves up more. We give it allowance. We give it some space. Don't follow too closely as well, right? Give it some space, right? And hopefully it can go up more. But look at this, we're above the trailing support. Is the green line still pointing up? Yes. Is the longer term trend up? Obviously, yes, as I say, since last year, right? And we are pretty much consolidating. So watch this level right here. Let me just draw this resistance, the $1.10, 1.10, right? We actually attempted to go above it, but came back down, not really counted. I think if we can go above the 110, we go to 112. I've set my alerts right over here, all right, and my phone will ring non-stop if that happens, all right. But if we go to 112 or 113 or 114 or whatever above 110, that could be another bullish signal. That could spark more momentum. Upside targets could be revised all the way to 120, maybe to 130. I think it's potentially where we could see more strength. All right, so this is the stock I'll share with you. Yes, been on my watch list since last year. Of course, we saw some weakness. We came down, but we got new bullish signals coming out, and off we are back up again. The reversal is ongoing. We look like we can potentially see even more upside. All right, so that is the stock I'd like to share with you, and that would be Riverstone. So let me pass on the mic back to Bervyn or Z. Which one of you want to go first to share the top stock that you guys like?
Okay, maybe I'll just take it first, then I'll pass the time to Bervyn.
Okay, go ahead.
So let me just share my screen. Okay, so I guess you guys are all seeing my screen now. And the bonus stock that I like, right, in the Singapore market is actually this stock called ST Engineering. So I believe a lot of you guys heard about ST Engineering. It's one of the blue chip stocks, right, in Singapore. So as you guys can see, the uptrend for this counter is relatively beautiful, right? I mean, even if you scroll back towards 2023 for the past 2 years, that is where we actually saw some reversal happening. And then in 2024, prices is pretty much forming higher lows, right? Higher lows. And also the moving averages, all of them are actually heading up. 20 days above the 100 days and above the 200 days, which is an ideal uptrend, right? Which is an ideal uptrend. But as of now, let's just take a look. So as of this year, somewhere in September, right? September, price started to actually consolidate sideways for a bit, right? You can see that, you know, prices is actually, oops, let me just change this to black so that's easier for you guys to see. Prices is actually trading sideways, right? So it's moving like this. And we can also see that, you know, the 20 days moving average, which is the green line, has also started to kind of flatten out a bit and go up and down. And over here, somewhere in December, 20 days moving average started to point down, right? But it actually bounces off this 100 days moving average, which is also a good sign. And now it's starting to turn up again, right? And during this consolidation period, we can actually take note of the range, right? The range, because during the consolidation period, there will definitely be a support and there will be a resistance, right? So I have drawn over here because we have analyzed this stock a couple of times for some of our clients as well. So one of the support level that I've drawn right over here will be around this 440, right, during the consolidation range. And that is where we saw, like, you know, buyers actually returning to push the price back up. And in terms of resistance, it probably will be somewhere around this 470, 477 to probably about 480. 480 could be a psychological resistance as well, where we actually see sellers actually returning, right? At prices near it, push price back down, right here over right here one more time, and over here again, right? Prices actually neared it, didn't even touch it, sellers came back in, right? So these are the two levels that you should take note as of now for ST Engineering. Okay, so let me just turn on the trailing support and resistance to take a look at the trend as well. Okay, so like we mentioned earlier on, you know, over the past year, this stock has been beautiful, right? It has been in an uptrend, and price, let's see, from the start of 2024, right, all the way to where we are at right now, prices have actually risen about 28% already, right? 28%. So prices have been going up, and then time to time we actually do see some rate trailing resistance over here as well for a short period of time before price actually head up higher, right? And as of now, we actually do see price trading below this trailing resistance line, which is this red line right here, right? Which is also where I've actually drawn this horizontal resistance level. But no worries, let me just later I will turn on the horizontal level as well for you guys to take a look. But as of now, price is actually trading below this red trailing resistance line, right? But that doesn't mean that it's bad, right? Because we can actually start to see that, you know, price actually starts to head higher and actually is testing this red trailing resistance line and this horizontal level at about 477 to 480, right? Price is actually heading up. And another sign is that it actually bounces off the 100 days moving average. The 20 days moving average actually bounces off the 100 days moving average, and all three of the moving averages are pointing up. So that is actually a good sign in terms of the uptrend. All right, so let me just turn on quickly the horizontal support and resistance for you guys to have a look as well. Okay, so right over here, okay, so see this green line over here, which is the horizontal support level. This is where I've actually also drew my horizontal support level, right, which is at this 440. So since 440, maybe what you can do is you can potentially set a price alert, right? If prices, you know, were to actually retrace back down to this 440 level, that's where you can potentially accumulate on the dips as well. So those who have accumulated here, congrats to you guys. But if let's say you are thinking of, okay, so if let's say right now I want to enter, where can I potentially think about entering, right? So one tip that I want to share with you guys is that if we actually turn on the buy and sell signal, right now there is a 1 GT bearish signal, right? Because prices is actually trailing below the red trailing resistance line, right? And one thing I want to share with you guys is that for this 1 GT Pro indicator, one of the good thing about this indicator is that we can actually set an alert, and it will actually alert me if there is a 1 GT bearish signal coming out. So right now, uptrend still looks intact, right? Right now, uptrend still looks intact, and it's actually testing this resistance right over here. So what I want to look for is actually price breaking above the resistance as well as a 1 GT bullish signal coming out. So what I can do is that I can actually set an alert. I can set an alert for the one good trend buy alert, right? Once per bar. And here I can just put ST Engineering. So what actually happens, and I just create. So what actually happens is that if once we actually have a 1 GT bullish entry signal coming out, I will be alerted, and this stock is a potential stock whereby you can consider to actually look at and get in. All right, so that would be the analysis for ST Engineering. So I'll pass the time over to Bervyn to share with you his bonus.
Thank you so much. See, maybe I can add something, guys. You want to watch this stock? I think this stock was actually not in my watch list. All right, it was like a few months back, but I kind of like missed it. But I think Z, thank you so much for bringing up this stock, ST Engineering, guys. I think I want to set an alert, guys. In terms of the 480 resistance level that Z has just drawn. All right, I think that is a very key level as well. If it goes to 481, 482, 483, we get a new bullish. I mean, it hasn't came out yet, but if we do get it, I think we'll get it if we go above the 480, right? That would be another phase of upside. We can see the green line is starting to point up as well. So maybe Z can zoom in a little bit, right? So I think that is a stock that you want to watch as well, right? Thanks Z for kind of like sharing it, putting back in my near-term watch list as well. All right, so I think maybe now we can pass the mic to Bervyn. Bervyn, hopefully you can share something interesting as well. Go ahead, Bervyn.
All right, thanks, Joey. Thanks, Z. I think ST Engineering is one of those that I think we should all put on our watch list for now. But I think mine may be a little bit more different. I think it's more of a comeback story. So what we have on the screen right now is, let me just change it to my screen. All right, okay. So what we have here is Centurion. Previously, I think some of you know it as Sembcorp Marine. Okay, so with Centurion, we actually saw that the prices or the company actually came back to profitability late last year. So of course, the prices will start to reflect it. So the 20 days moving average crossed above the 200 days moving average, crossed above the 100 days moving average. And right now we have the 20 days moving average above the 100 days moving average and above the 200 days moving average. It's a good sign. It's a good sign that the reversal play is still intact for me right now. So where are the key levels that I'm actually looking out for? One of the key levels that I'm actually looking out for is about the 180 to the 190 level. As you can see, prices actually previously came down, went back up to test, came back down again. These are the prices have actually tested these levels and broken above previously already. Okay, so this is one of the key levels that I'm actually looking out for, the 180 to 190 level, where actually, we can we maybe be able to see a bit of a bargain hunting come back for this counter. So where is the upside? I would say, so I think in the near term, I think the upside could be about this 240 level first, as prices started to head up already with the 20 days moving average, trailing just behind it a little bit. Sellers actually came back in, around the 225 level, but so far so good. The longer term trend is still intact, shorter term trend is still very, very much intact right now. So if we turn on our trailing support and resistance line, we saw that actually, the EI has actually started to trail up since, third quarter of last year. That was the third quarter. Okay, so with that being said, where are we looking, if you are going to accumulate or you are going to protect your profits? Like I said, like I mentioned just now, slightly below the trailing support would be a good gauge for you to actually use it to actually protect your profits, because if you're in a reversal play, any news may quickly turn the counter back into a downtrend again, because last time in a while back the prices was in a downtrend previously. Okay, so if we turn on the buy and sell signals, you should actually see that there is actually two bullish signals that you can actually take note of. One in Q3 of last year when the reversal took place, and one most recently in early of this year, 6 Jan, we actually got one more bullish signal that actually came out, signifying that this uptrend is still intact. If you're looking to accumulate, the key levels will be roughly, I would say, about the $190 to $2 level. If we are able to locate, a little bit of a short-term support or near-term support, I would say you can actually look out for around the 210 level. But I would say the key support level is still around the 190 level. Let's see if we are able to see, a further upside towards this 240 first. before it can actually hit even higher. All right, so that's it. That's my top stock. I'm putting Seatrium on my watch list. I don't know about you guys. Maybe you can tell us which of these three stocks, Riverstone or ST Engineering or even Seatrium, which one would you like to put in your watch list?
Let us know, guys, in chat. Just type 1, 2, or 3, right? In terms of like the stocks that you like, is it like the first one which I covered, Riverstone, or is it like Z or Z stock, which is ST Engineering, or is it Bervyn stock, Seatrium? And by the way, Seatrium is pretty good as well. Good one. Bervyn, I think that has been shared with our VIP clients in Philips Securities as well. All right, in terms of like some bullish signals being spotted since like October, a few months back, started push up. We got a new bullish signal again. And as I say, guys, essentially, right, these are some of the top stocks we do share with our VIP clients in Philips Securities for free. I think some of you are asking, let me just go through the comments. I think like we have, let's see, Guisiong under Philips Securities. Yes, we are under Philips Securities, correct. So if you want to have a trading account under us, do you check it out, right? I'll place the link in the chat just one more time. So find out how you can become a VIP client under me, all right, in Philips Securities, whereby you have my team assist you as well. You get some of top ideas, right? Like Riverstone, like Seatrium, by WhatsApp daily for free, right? No additional cost, especially as I say, if you have a trading account. I mean, you need a trading account to trade, right? So if you have a trading account, you just log into your platform, whether online or the website or mobile app. You don't know who contact you, nobody contact you, nobody bother about you, nobody send you anything at all. All right, then make sure you want to come on board, right? The link is right there. Okay, let's see in the chat right here. NV 1 and 2 sounds good. Thank you. Francis 1 and 2, ST Engineering 1, Lihan 1, 2, 3, all sounds good. Steven 2 and 3, 1 and 2. So I think all of you like all the stocks that we shared. Hopefully you guys have got some value, all right? Got some value so far. And how many feel that, it could be really, really type P for powerful, guys. If you that, this indicator that we talk about, right, can be really powerful just to guide you on entry and exit type. Just type P for powerful if you feel that could be really powerful. I mean, just to not just about telling you when to get in, but also telling you when to get out. Just type P for powerful if you feel that could be pretty powerful. Type P for powerful. Let me know, guys. Right? Let's see, right? Lihan PPP. All right. So some of you might already be existing subscribers of us, right? And go ahead to check it out. But as I say, guys, today we do have the time to dive so much into the entire framework and strategy. You can find a little bit more in terms of the strategy about how perhaps you could have, access to this tool like us, right? To get an opinion in seconds. Attend one of those free webinars. We have one next week. All right. And hopefully I'll see you there. And that's the link in the chat. Finally, right? Just place the link in the chat one final time. I think we have come to the end of today's session, the Ask Me Any Singapore Stock session. All right. And thank you so much for being here. Lihan, thank you. Bervyn, for insightful analysis. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Maybe let me just go ahead to invite all of us over here. Let's see. Right. So this is just say bye. All right. And we can just say bye and we call it the end. Have a good weekend, guys. All right.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for spending our morning with us. Thank you.
Thanks, Gopal. Thanks, Victor. Thanks, Buchin as well. Really appreciate you guys still being here. All right. We have more than 200 of you joining us today. Thank you, Dave, as well. Awesome. So, yeah, there we have it, guys. The end of today. Ask Me Any Singapore Stock session. Go ahead to follow, to like as well, so that when we go live in the future, you will be notified on some Facebook, on YouTube. All right. Check it out. Subscribe, follow, and that is where we'll see you again on the next Ask Me Any Stock session. So I think next week maybe we'll cover like the US market, right? Ask Me Any US. Now it's Singapore, next week US, then maybe we alternate Singapore, US, all right? That's what we'll do, and we'll see you guys real soon. Thanks, Chi Seng. Thanks, Ellen. Thanks, Peter. All right, have a good weekend. We shall see you soon. Take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.